So good evening, everyone. And I think now it's a busy time, isn't it? People preparing Christmas coming, and everybody shopping. But instead of you go shopping, you come here to listen to Dharma talk. It's very good. Yeah, and one of the frequent asked people like to come and ask me, one of the things that, what can I improve myself? How can I improve myself? What can, do you have any suggestions? Do you have any comments? So I just said, nothing you can do, just be yourself. Isn't it? Sometimes it's okay, relax. It's okay to be yourself. But sometimes it's okay to be yourself. I said, just relax, be yourself. Because sometimes if you know that, if you knew that how quickly people would forget you when you are dead, you would not live your life, to impress people, isn't it? And this is very quick. We think that we are indispensable, and then we try to be perfect, and just see actually how stressful it is, isn't it? You try to be perfect. That is not you, and very stressful. And this is it remind me there's a true story of this couple. They met each other when they're in high school. They're perfect couple. They know each other a long time. The high school, and then they go to uni together, and then after graduation they got married, and then a happy family, perfect couples, perfect family, and there are 3 beautiful girls, doing everything well, always post on the Facebook, really, perfect, happy family, everything is good, everything perfect. And just a few years ago, and the wife killed the husband. Imagine, because sometimes you suppress a lot. Actually, you pretend that I'm happy. They said it's very dangerous when you suppress your emotion. You're not happy with, of course it's normal. No one in this world that happy every time, happy all the time, isn't it? No. And sometimes it's okay. Sometimes you feel grumpy. It's okay. Just be grumpy. It's fine, But sometimes you let it be. It stop. Just we are not in denying, and this is how you feel, because you cannot every single moment, isn't it? Because it's part of life, When you're happy, that happiness will end as well. So when the happiness ends, you feel sad, you suffer, isn't it? Then when the suffering ends, you also happy, isn't it? Oh, it's end finally. We're so happy, but because of they're just doing that, I think they've been doing that. I think it's been long time, because they always do what they show people that they are a perfect couple, perfect family, and perfect children, happy family. There's no such thing, isn't it? It's not perfect. And actually, imagine how this you've been living your life like that is very stressful. Then of course there is a limit how long you can suppress, isn't it? You can't. So to the point when you cannot suppress, it's like volcano, it will explode. And this is how, like sometimes people, they don't know how to deal with the emotion skillfully. They keep suppressing the emotion, and they keep pushing it. And then the scary thing is that if you start doing that, you become good at it, like a default setting. And then you don't even know that you're doing it. Subconsciously you're doing it, you've been so good at it. And you keep doing it. And then you don't even know that you're doing that. And then to a point that you can't hold anymore. That's it. Sometimes you think that I will not do such a thing. I will not kill anyone. You think so. As an underlying tendency is there. Sometimes if you are not angry now, doesn't mean that you have no anger, because the condition is not there. No one press a button. No one trigger you, isn't it? Then you're okay. Then you think that I have no anger. I know someone said to me, I have no anger. Then I just look at the person. I said, if you have no anger, then you must be anagami or fully enlightened. It's impossible, It's even stream winners, first stage of enlightenment, you still have that subtle anger and craving, you still have that, but it's not on the coarse level, it's more on the refined level, you still have that. Even once returner, you still have that defilements, you not fully eradicate. And so sometimes how deluded, they think that, I free, they think they have no anger. Then I say, if no anger, that means that at least, non-returner, anagami, or you fully enlightened. So it's okay. This is how, because we judge ourselves. We think that how, we have an ideas of how we should be and how we judge ourselves, how we look at ourselves, how we identify ourselves. So we always we identify our feelings, sensations. When something that is unpleasant, then we identify ourselves as, oh, this is bad, this is no good. And this is, we label ourselves as good or bad. Actually, we cause so much suffering to ourselves. And that's why this lady, because she want to be perfect and suppressing, rather to be just honest about that, how you feel, and then just acknowledge that. And actually it's because you can't accept that you are not perfect. I remember early days when I start to practice, and I realized that when I start to practice, you be more observant. You started to see that some of your underlying tendency, some of your behavior. In the past, I wouldn't be able to see that. But when you start practice, when you develop your mindfulness, you be more aware, and I can see myself. And I was thinking, like. But because I was a perfectionist, everything have to be really, things have to be in symmetrical order, everything balanced, everything, even hanging my clothes also, the pegs have to be all same color, color coordinated, And I did that, Then sometimes you did actually, only when you started to observe myself, hey, I've been doing this, And actually you start to see that. Then because everything ought to be perfect, then sometimes I got upset with myself with sometimes just a small mistake. I cannot tolerate even the small mistake because I'm supposed to be perfect. So because then small mistake, that means I'm not perfect anymore. Then I realized that, but I can easily forgive others. Then I started to investigate. I started to reflect and contemplate why I can easily, forgive others but not myself. Then I realized that it's come from my big ego, because I think that I'm smart, I'm clever, I'm better than anyone else, because other people, they're stupid, so it's okay they make mistake. Actually, sometimes you have to be honest to yourself, to look at yourself that you're doing that. Then only you improve. We are not in denial. This is how, when you start to investigate, you see yourself doing this. And then I realize it. And I find it at the beginning, I find it so difficult to acknowledge that I'm really come from big ego. But then it takes me a while until that, okay, let's face it, let's accept that. Then I started to be able to acknowledge that it's okay, sometimes it takes time, to be just honest about that, how you feel, not try to deny, I'm not. Like the Buddha said, you think you are not, you are. You think you are not. Sometimes this is how we identify ourselves. We think who we are, Then we tend to live up to our own expectation. And then we also impose our ideas on others. We also want others. We want to live up to our own expectation, or also we also want to live up to other people's expectation. Like it's very common, people come to me, they've been quite indecisive, or I don't know what to decide because I'm so worried, so concerned. If I make the decision, it's going to upset my family, upset my loved one. Then I look at the person, I said, this is your life. You're not living for others. It's so important. What's the point of you make all your family happy, but you're not happy. But this is your life. I said, you have to think for yourself. That's why we don't encourage people. We don't sacrifice ourselves for others. Then that is not being kind. We are not being kind to ourselves. And actually, sometimes how much we harm ourselves Many people don't know that how much we harm ourselves. Sometimes we keep thinking that other people harming us, or they're terrible, they said this nasty thing to me, or they're really not kind, Then actually we harm ourselves much more than anyone else, isn't it? We keep thinking about it, how terrible, how bad, Actually, each time we think about it, we're harming ourselves one more time. So sometimes we harm ourselves much more. But we keep thinking that our suffering is come from others, but we don't see that how much we harm ourselves, because it's come from our sense of self, our ego, that we beating ourselves up, because we have an idea of who we are, and we want to live up to the idea. And also we also have the expectation of ourselves, and also we impose our ideas on others. I remember some years ago, someone said to me that she kept telling her sister that, "Don't want to have children, you will suffer. It's suffering have children, suffer. And then when her sister got pregnant, her sister feel guilty, don't even dare to tell her that she got pregnant. Then I said, you don't impose your ideas on others. I said, why don't you look at it that way? Some beings that need to be born, you give those beings the opportunity to be born in a loving family. You give them the opportunities. Why don't you look at it that way? It's a thing that, they have to born somewhere, isn't it? Then at least you give them the opportunity. You look at it that way to be born in a good family, loving family. So why don't you look at it that way? But because she imposed her ideas, on her ideas on others, and make her sister even feel guilty when she got pregnant. I said, nothing wrong with that. And then when I told her, she said, oh yeah, I never thought of that, And very easily we impose. And sometimes even parents, they impose the ideas on they identify the children as part of me, And then things that they cannot fulfill, they think, oh yeah, part of me, you fulfill for me. And they try to shape the children, to do the small version of them, And then they try to, rather than to help, your children to be a better them, than be a better you. And then you impose on them, but they are not happy, I know sometimes parents impose the idea that they think that what is, sometimes what your idea that what you think that is happy is not necessary is happy. The other person feel happy. The same thing with all my relatives think that I'm crazy, why I want to become a nun. And there's some of them even feel sorry for me being a nun. But actually, they are not me. I'm happy. I enjoy my life. I love my lifestyle. I enjoy my life. I'm happy with this lifestyle. But they feel like, oh, how come you be happy? Because they cannot comprehend they are not me. But this is how we impose, and we not only causing ourselves suffering, we also cause other people suffering. We impose the ideas on other. That you should live up to my expectation. So, and then also, because sometimes with the expectation, we also cause ourselves lots of suffering, isn't it? Because like the Buddha said, what you expected to be is always otherwise. So one of the famous Buddha saying, expect the unexpected, things are not going to turn out the way. And this is how, this again come from the sense of our ideas of how things should be. And things don't always go our way. I remember just a few weeks ago, we went to Margaret River. I went to Margaret River for teaching, and then we left the monastery at 1:00. So we think that we'll be there is around 5-ish. Then the talks will start at 7:00. Do you know what happened? In the middle of nowhere, the car broke down. Hot, broke down. What are we going to do? This is something is important. Your mentality, you develop that. That's one of the very important ingredients in life. That is really make your life easier and happier. And then of course, and then we didn't upset, because we still happy because this is how you train your mind. At least you always look for something that you're really, being grateful of. So we said, oh, luckily, I'm so blessed, we're so happy that luckily it's not in the middle of the road. At least be able to pull to the side, the driver pull to the side. At least we said, I talked to the other night, at least two of us don't have to push the car. So we are happy for that. They say sometimes it's easy, isn't it? Like some people, they're jumping up and down, they kick the car or they hit the car. Hey, you kick the car, your foot pain. The car don't feel, the car, don't feel anything, isn't it? Or that they use their hand to hit the car and then your hand pain, jumping up and then get angry. What can you do is, the car break down, then you think what you can do. And then okay, we managed to call Uber. So the driver said, we send you first, you get Uber, you go first, because if not, we will not make it. And then we are so blessed and so grateful that we managed to call the Uber driver, and the Uber driver didn't know what he's getting. So he was happily, because he picked up someone from the airport and dropped the person at Mandurah, because we are in Pinjara Highway, somewhere there, and it's about quite close. Then he was thinking, okay, on my way, I can take the passenger back to Perth, Then when they come in, then he said, ask us to key in the address. So we key in, they say, what? Going to down south? Then I have to travel 280 kilometers back to Perth, And then he's already there. Of course, he negotiate. He asked for more. Then it's okay. We also give him because and then we even for him, even though we pay him, we are so thankful and feel blessed and grateful that that we said. Then I talked to Vampa Jotika. I said I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful that he didn't know what he's getting. If not, we would not get anyone to come and take us. And then we managed to get there. 5-6 minutes past 6, and the Dharma talk start at 7, and then we just have a drink, we didn't upset, we didn't get upset, but we feel sorry and feel so thankful to the driver. We keep saying thank you to him, I said, and then feel sorry for him that he had to drive 280 kilometers from down south back to, and then he need to travel next day at night, 10:30 flight, and then actually this is important. They said this is how you train your mind. You cannot change what's happening, isn't it? It's already happened. What can you do, isn't it? But then your attitude, how you look at it. When you change your attitude, you always train your mind to always look at something that is good, some things that that always develop that gratitude. When you have that quality, and then easily, you're not easily upset. You always then you train your mind, and then if you develop the kind of fault finding mind, you always look where is something wrong. But if you develop that kind of attitude, and then you always look for something good. To me, like even sometimes people said nasty thing to me, so I will look at the person, I will think, at least this person is honest to the extent. The person is not pretentious. So I get what I see, rather than someone stab your back, being sweet to you, So at least you're not so, and then you're not so angry, isn't it? Even the person being said nasty thing to you, if you think, at least the person, not pretentious, not, they just being themselves, And then actually some people like that, they're less dangerous, isn't it? People like that is less dangerous, you get what you see, Rather some people, they're really sweet and nice, but you don't know what you're getting, They stab your back. And then when you think of that, you feel much better. If not, your mind go on and on, keep thinking about how terrible, how bad the person is. And then we are the one who suffer. I remember one of my relatives, and he got an argument with his sister, big argument. Then he got very upset when he went back. Then he'd been thinking about that. The more he think about that, he got very angry. The more he think about that, he got so angry. You know what he did? He went back and hit his sister. Because he keep thinking about it. This is how we reinforce that. We keep thinking about it. And then, it gets stronger and stronger because we are feeding it. So sometimes it's no, it's okay. We are not trying to live in denial. We recognize that yes, anger is there. We acknowledge that this is how I feel. And we forgive ourselves, we forgive others. If others upset us, we forgive them, we accept that it's okay. But because the problem is we are not accepting how we feel, because we identify all our experiences, our feelings, whether pleasant or unpleasant, we identify whether it's good or bad. Then we have these unpleasant feelings we identify as we are bad, we are not good enough. And that's the problem, we label ourselves. And that's, this is how some of the suffering we create, we create the suffering, for ourselves. And I know sometimes ago, someone come to me, she got really upset. She said that why everybody come to her, asking her advice and bothering her. She said she's really overwhelmed, by all the people come to her, asking her advice, what medicine to take, because, and then I look at her, I said, you started off. I said, you are the one, you contribute to us. I said, you know how it started off? Because she's very helpful. If someone not well, she'll, you take this, you take that. This is good for you. Of course, then when it started that everybody, anyone they're not well will go to her. What should I take, Then it's ended up everybody go to her. Then I said, you are the one, you create that, you are part of it. You contribute towards that. But sometimes then you blaming others, people cause you so much suffering. They come and bother me. I said, you are part of it. You contribute towards that. I said, you create the suffering yourself, But this is how sometimes we think that our suffering, that, other people causes us suffering, and how much we suffer. And we don't see that actually we are part of it. We create that, we don't see that. So then we suffer unnecessarily, And that's why sometimes that this is, again, when the practice comes, you just be honest and we just observe our own behavior. That's why to put into practice present moment awareness, aware of how we feel. It's just like, even meditate. Sometimes even people meditate, they force themselves to sit, and then or they force themselves to sit for long hours. But then ended up they get so upset because you're using willpower. Rather than, it's okay, this is how you feel, just relax and then just acknowledge that, if a particular, if those thoughts arise, just acknowledge, yes, this is that. And then you just accept that and then acknowledge it, recognize, acknowledge, accept, forgive, and let it be. And then you go back, continue, to continue to meditate. And this is the same thing whatever we experience. The problem is sometimes we get attached to things that who we are, who we're supposed to be. I know someone that last time she stayed in the monastery. She attached to being someone very frugal. And then when she prepare breakfast or prepare lunch for us, she will make sure that, for example, like kiwi, okay, if it's 9 nuns or 8 nuns there, she will cut 4 kiwi. Each one only have half, because she afraid the nuns going to waste the food, And then, of course, sometimes people don't have enough to eat. Then I talk to her, I say, sometimes why don't you, prepare more? It's not enough. She said, sometimes I saw them didn't finish, and then the food is ended up, the waste of food that ended up in the bucket. I said, that is not your problem, isn't it? I said, and I told this person, I said, being frugal is good. It's a good quality. It's not that bad. But you're attached to being frugal. And then I said, then rather than you think of, make sure that you have prepared enough for people to eat. Whether their wasteful is not or not is not your problem, isn't it? I said, you prepare, make sure people have enough. If they waste their food, it's not your problem. But you don't impose that, that sometimes it's okay, that quality is good, being frugal. But the problem is when you attach to being frugal, that is a problem. Like people attached to being kind. And one of my friends, like she's attached to being helpful and kind. And she's always like someone like almost like knock on people's door, and force people that let me help you, the kind of person, And then she will complain to me that, people not being grateful, I'm being so helpful, so kind, helping them. Oh, they are not being so ungrateful. But I said, the way you help others, you're almost forcing people to accept your help, I said, sometimes people do not need it. I said, if people come up to you, when they ask for a favor, they ask for help, you give it all you got, you help them. But not can, I help you like touch, like it's just like, so people have to write on the books, I'm being kind, helping people crossing the road is being kind. So you can force people to cross the road, the people don't want to cross the road, And this is how we attach to the idea. Then we cause a lot of suffering for ourselves. And then like this lady, she got upset when people like not accepting her help, thinking that, and then she think that, oh, I want to help, but then you're not accepting my help, then you're so ungrateful, Actually, I told her it's not that people are ungrateful. Sometimes people said no, that means no, And I know sometimes we have people like, you tell them, no, I'm okay, I'm fine. They're very forceful, they want to help you. And then they leave a mess. And then you have to do more work, So sometimes even we want to help, we also have to know our strength. How can we help? How much I can help? Sometimes like kindness, like Buddha said, kindness without wisdom can be very destructive. And then we think that we are very helpful, but actually it's not helpful at all, not kind at all, And sometimes we create more suffering for others. We don't see that, And there's sometimes like, how sometimes, because it's again, it comes from the sense of self, how we identify who we are, who we're supposed to be. And this we create so much suffering for ourselves. And then also we try to please other people. We try to live up to, and I know sometimes people are so concerned about how they look at them, how people look at me, how people think of me. Actually, you can only do your best. No matter what you do, there's always someone don't like you, isn't it? Someone will criticize you. Someone don't like how you look, how your hairstyle, People still, there's someone still don't like you, isn't it? So it's okay, That's why I remember someone recently asked me, this person, and then one of the nuns, she feel very nervous if she need to give a talk in front of people. So how do you do that? You keep, you're talking to people. I said, firstly, when I talk to people, I don't see them as an audience. I see them as just like friends. I'm just talking to friends, firstly. And secondly, I'm not so worried about whether they like my talk or not. It's fine, Because actually, if you want to impress people, if you come from the place that I'm gonna give a talk so that I'm going to impress people, people will praise me, that I'm give a wonderful talk, you suffer. You constantly, you get affected, you just, That's why I can tell you, people, whatever because my talk is in YouTube, so I don't care. Whoever write any comments, I never look at it anyway. So if you criticize me also, I don't know, I don't look at it, I don't really concern this. I don't care whether how many likes, how many views, what's the comments, whether it's a positive comments or negative comments, or they criticize me. I'm doing my best. So I can only do my best. If they don't like it, what can I do? So they say it's important, whatever we do it wholeheartedly. We do it with do it wholeheartedly, do our best, and we just leave the results, If people don't like it, okay, fine. So then I said, for me, it's okay, if people boycott, okay, next time I don't want Ajahn Hasapanna to come, Dhamma give talks, we ban her from coming. I'm fine too, then I don't have to give talk, I stay back and relax, I'm fine, Then, but because of the sense of self, like how we attach to the idea, the image of who we are, that we cause the suffering. So the bigger the sense of self, the easier you get, you feel hurt easily. I remember early days when I saw Anagarikas, I find it very useful that you keep asking yourself, you question yourself. Actually, deep down, you know the answer. It's actually, we all have that wisdom. We all have the knowing. Actually, we know for ourselves, But sometimes because we've been overwhelmed by, the things outside, and then we get pulled in, we get carried away, But actually, deep down, we do have that knowing. And sometimes, I go back to my good day, I feel upset. Oh, why people accuse me, I didn't do this, why they said that to me. Then I start to, and then when I start to investigate and I reflect on that, then I said, why not? Why can't people accuse you? It's fine. So then when I start to investigate and to keep asking myself, and I realize that actually it's come from my big ego. So I realized that the bigger ego, the easier you get hurt. People say something, is that hurt my feelings, But if you have small ego, you don't get hurt easily. Whatever other people say, fine, that's all. You like whether you like it or not. Sorry, that's what you get. And you learn to at ease and at peace with yourself. Learn to love ourselves. Like the Buddha said, that many people don't love themselves. Please, be kind to yourself. Love yourself. And it's important. It's okay. If you truly love yourself, you accept who you are, isn't it? It's just like the parents towards their children. They accept the children as they are. The same thing, we have that towards ourselves. That's what the Buddha said. You try to search through the entire universe to find someone that deserves your love and affection. More than you yourself, that person cannot be found. And you yourself, actually, as much as anyone else, deserve your own love and affection. That's why we at the kindness actually include ourselves, kind to ourselves, be kind to ourselves. Okay, accept ourselves. Even these two stupid things, we make mistake, be okay, we forgive ourselves. Actually, life is a learning process. We always learn something. We all do stupid things, silly things in the past, but that is part of our growth, part of our transformation. So it's okay. This is, that we accept that, we love ourselves. So that's because of the reason we are not accepting who we are. Even we are not accepting how we feel. We always identify how we feel, that is good or bad. We judge ourselves as good or bad. So I know even sometimes people can't accept that, I should feel happy all the time. If I feel sad, then I shouldn't feel sad. So if you just acknowledge and recognize that, okay, in this moment, this is fully aware that how you feel, just to observe, okay, this moment, sadness is there. This is how I feel. Not adding on anything. Not, how come I feel this way? There must be something, or must be this person do that, that person do that. It's just okay. This is how you feel. Recognize that and acknowledge that this is how you feel. And accepting how you feel is okay. It's okay that you don't always feel great. It's fine. Then you forgive. If we do silly things, we forgive ourselves. And then we let go. So acceptance is letting go. We let ourselves be. It's okay. They say it's okay to be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be someone else. Like sometimes it's really shocking sometimes when I read those news. Like some people go for plastic surgery to try to look for some film star. And then it's just, and then I look at it, I was how much suffering. I remember when my sister, she had her surgery, and I went with her, when I was still a lay person. And she had to do the plastic surgery for her hand because she injured her hand. And some women, they they do face lifting and they really wrap up. And I look at it, I was thinking, my goodness, I said, it must be very painful, I was thinking, to cut this, because of they think that, I want, that they are not at ease and at peace with themselves, they don't like themselves. So each one of us is unique. It's just who we are, it's okay. We learn to love ourselves as we are, learn to be kind to ourselves, accept ourselves who we are. Then you become more at ease and at peace. If you try to be someone else and try to live up to other people's expectation or your own expectation, or that the image that you want to live up to, and also you create lots of suffering for yourself, it's okay. So even some new training nuns come in and ask me to give them advice, how to start their monastic life. I said, it's okay, just be yourself. Of course, I said, you come in, you still have your old habits. You as a lay person, you bring your. I said it's normal. I don't expect you to be perfect. I'm not perfect either. I don't expect you to be perfect. So I said, just relax, just be yourself. This normally, sometimes sometimes the most unpromising one really stay. I remember when I met Bhante Sujato, because I know Bhante Sujato many years, and he knows my family. Then he said all your brothers and sisters, they're very devoted and they're very, serious in the practice, and then none of them become monks or nuns. You are the only one become monks or nuns. I said, yes. And I said, I'm the most unpromising one. And then he said, that's always the case, because I'm more relaxed. I'm okay to be myself. Then I don't create the suffering for myself. Like this lady, she want to be perfect, perfect family. And then, so that's why I said, if those, those really perfect, perfect monks or nuns, sometimes that don't stay long because it's too good to be true, isn't it? And it's okay because actually it's very stressful, isn't it? Because constantly you have to perform, you have to act. And actually, it's very draining. It uses up lots of mental energy because you're suppressing your emotion. Actually you're not happy, and then you pretend to be happy, and you constantly suppress your emotion, and this is very dangerous thing to do. When you suppress that, especially it becomes a habit, it's very difficult to change. It's a very scary thing. It's okay. So just be kind to yourself, open yourself, it's fine. Love yourself as you are. So from today onwards, start to learn to love yourself, to be kind to yourself. Always forgive yourself, forgive and let it be. And that's impossible that that you always got praise. This is part of life. Things don't always go your way. Because the bigger sense of self, the more controlling you are, control freak. You will control everything. You even control other people. If people don't go your way, don't follow what you do, you got angry, you got upset. Even sometimes people got angry when people disagree with you. People have different view from you, you got angry and upset. This again come from your sense of self. And people got very angry. I see people got very angry when someone disagree with their ideas, with their opinion, with their views. They got upset, and that actually when you get upset, angry, who is the one who suffer? Like the Buddha said, when you get angry, you just like when someone getting angry, it's just like you swallow this iron ball, heated up hot iron ball, and you think that other people are going to suffer. Actually, no. Ultimately, you harming yourself. You harming yourself, you are the one who suffer. So we learn to be kind to ourselves. It's okay, It's okay. Sometimes we're a bit grumpy, and we are not. Sometimes we feel a bit depressed. Sometimes like how people judge themselves. I know someone. This one of our supporters. She already passed away. She's a very good meditator. Her practice is really very good. She's a very kind, loving person. And she told me even her practice. She said sometimes she just sit there, she just don't know why. Certainly that she feel depressed. And then you know what she did? She just sit there. Just sit there and just being how she feel. And then it passed. She said it just passed. And then it never happened again. But then sometimes I feel, how come I'm depressed? I shouldn't feel depressed. Then you think that I should do this, I should do that, in order that I don't feel depressed. But actually whatever arises, it passes away. It's not going to stay there forever. So even this is how you feel. Actually, it's just okay, this is how you feel. But because of it, we identify as good or bad. We think that we shouldn't feel that way. That is a problem. But if you learn to accept ourselves and to learn to make peace with ourselves, it's okay how I feel. Then actually you make your life easier and happier. And there's so many things in life that you can focus on. Why you want to focus on things that make you unhappy? And maybe this is, I don't know, I'm not speculating, maybe this is true. Even when I was very young, I'm just naturally, I don't focus on things that make me unhappy. They say I'm genuinely quite a jolly person, I don't, very quick, sometimes I have to remind myself I should get angry. This person upset me. Then afterwards I forgot. I forgot. Then I said, hey, you're supposed to get angry with that person because the person said nasty thing to you. Then I always keep telling myself, no, this time I'm really not going to talk to this person. That upset me. Then after a while I forgot. I talked to that person again. But actually, when I was young, I didn't see that this is a good qualities, Then when I told my friend, I said very easily, I just forget, I just easily forgive. And she said, it's good. Then you suffer less, because be able to forgive, actually you are the one. Sometimes I forgot. And sometimes even people come and apologize, sorry, apologize, forgive. I said, what did you do? I forgotten because I don't carry that with me. So if you don't carry that with you, actually you free yourself. If not, you carry that with you, keep thinking about it, how terrible, and you can't sleep. Actually, you are the one who suffer. This is how we suffer a lot, There's some like one of these usual the frequent asked question. People will come and speculate. Now in this life I feel this way. Is it because of previous I have done this, I have done that, I have done that? I said, stop speculating. I said, that is already past. You cannot undo. But it's important that what you do now is important. What we have done in the past, we forgive. It's okay. It's always one more time. And then I remember someone said to me, how about these people? They're always, and each time I forgive them, they do it again and again. So I said, never mind, one more time. Because when you forgive someone, you are the one, you are freeing yourself. You are the one who benefit most. It's not the person that you forgive, that person benefit. I said you're not doing it for anyone else. You do that, it's actually you're being kind to yourself. Then it's okay, we forgive. Always, and be able to accept who we are is being kind to ourselves. And be able to forgive. Someone being forgiven also is kind to ourselves. So learn to be kind to ourselves. Have kindness and compassion towards ourselves, and this, then you will free yourself. If not, we have lots of add-on suffering. We don't see that, and then we keep thinking that our suffering come from outside. That is part of life. No, even the Buddha can't get away. There's still people don't like Buddha, isn't it? So let alone us, But it's okay, they don't like me. I'm not going to, I don't feel pain if they don't like me. Life goes on, So I'm fine with that, whether people like me or not. They said that even the Buddhists can't get away with the 8 worldly winds, You have win, you have gain, you have loss, you have praise, you have criticism, you have fame, you have defame. You will get both. But the problem is we only want one part. We want to keep that, We want all the pleasant feelings. Unpleasant feelings, we don't want it. But sometimes pleasant feelings also cause suffering. Then people have fear of losing it. Isn't it? When it's pleasant feelings, then you have the fear of losing it. And also fear of, when you fear of losing it, but then because we think that we own it. If you don't own anything, you won't lose it. They said this is how, this again come from the sense of self. We think that we own it, the ownership. We think that we own our feelings, our experiences, this is me and mine. And then sometimes when you start to investigate, I can tell you, like those DNA, they never said 100%, they said 99.9%. So it's 99.9% that actually it's come from our sense of self that really causes us suffering. But it's not something outside, not something outside, not because of the people outside or the place that causes suffering. That is always come from. No one will cause the waves in our mind, only we ourselves. So sometimes whatever we leave it alone, it will subside, it will naturally calm down. Sometimes the problem do not cause suffering. The suffering is come from how we react to the situation, how we deal with the situation, our attitude towards that cause suffering. We cannot avoid problems. Always have something goes wrong. That is part of life. That things don't always go our way. It's part of in the samsara, and part of that. Then we are not. If we expect that things are try to control things go our way, then you suffer more. But then you learn to be at ease and at peace, Like they say, sometimes even things goes wrong. I'm like, when we have the car broke down in the middle of nowhere, we're still happy, we're still okay, we're still laughing, okay, that's it. And then we make it, and then we still feel blessed. That's it. Then no point if jumping up and down and got upset, They say sometimes from today onwards, learn to be kind to yourself and love yourself as you are, and then you will make your life happier and easier. So I offer this for your Dhamma reflection. May this teaching be of benefit to all of you. So we just Arahant.
Any questions?
I forgotten. So any questions or comments? Okay.
Ajahn Hasapanna, good talk. Yeah, your talk today on how to improve, ourselves. Yeah, the Buddha was asking us to look inwards. Yeah, inwards. Okay, outside improvement is material improvement, like money. You have 10 palaces. You go for the 11 palaces. Yeah, that won't improve. Your well-being. So don't you think emphasis should be more towards the inside, our emotions? Like letting go, be contented. Contentment is the greatest happiness, and all these things. Like what you say, should be all inside, isn't it? Emphasis.
Yeah, there's like so one of the spiritual faculty, the Buddhists mentioned that is truthfulness. Truthfulness is not about lying, not only telling lies, actually not lying to ourselves, be honest to ourselves. So the practice is that when we look in, we observe ourselves, and we see, and then we see that, then we learn, and then we know, if we are not being honest to ourselves, we're not open to that, then we just pretend that we live in denial. But we just, be honest to ourselves, this is how I feel. And this is, we have to start with where we act. So it's just I am who I am. That's all, But I think it's very difficult, especially when we have the idea, because especially the bigger the ego, and then very strong sense of self, and because then actually the sense of self being challenged When things don't, meet up with what you think you are, that your sense of self being challenged, that is very difficult. It's actually the most difficult part is that letting go of the sense of self the most. That's why even Anagami, they still have a little bit that very, subtle sense of self. Only when Arahant, there's no sense of self. Because actually the sense of self that is, because of the sense of self is come from that side, this delusion, greed, hatred, and delusion is come also again. When you investigate, you always come that you yourself cause yourself suffering. And then you keep seeing that again and again and again, then actually this is how you started not to blame others people for your problem. Because very easily we blame others for our problem. Then you will feel everything in life if you always think that other people causes suffering, but you'll be able to see that. And also important that qualities, truthfulness, being truthful to ourselves. It's okay, because very easily we deceive ourselves. We deceive ourselves and not being honest, to ourselves. That's why it's important. Just okay, we investigate, we being honest about how we feel. It's okay to how we feel. Okay, any questions or comments? Oh, yeah, there's someone there. There's one. No, the behind, there.
Hello. I was just wondering, I work with teenagers.
Okay.
They have a lot of struggle with this stuff, like learning about who they are, self-confidence. Yeah, I was wondering what you think about young people and trying to guide them through some of the stuff you're talking about.
Okay. And first of all, if you want to guide someone, and you yourself have to do it first, you have to set the example. And first of all, you have to start with yourself, that kind of being peaceful and calm, and then learn to become peaceful and calm. And that's also it will help them. And that's why it's important that that you have to do it first. You have to you yourself have to impress. You yourself have to inspire them. And then also, it's like we have someone and very desperately come to me, I want some Dharma books, because I want to give it to my son to read, because my son committed suicide, then I said, this is not the time to give him Dharma book to read, I said, if you truly want to help your son, first of all, you have to help yourself. You calm yourself down, become very peaceful and calm, you sit with him, and he can feel. But if you look so worried, and then you make him feel bad, So I say you start from yourself. That's why sometimes we want to guide someone, we have to start from ourselves. The best, the most powerful teaching is teaching by example. Because you keep telling people you do this and then you never do it. I know one time I was really make me laugh, this father, that's he's scolding his son, that being, using all the swearing, or using all those, vulgar words, not very nice words, very, and he himself using those words to scold the son. Why he himself swearing and asked why you swear, I was thinking that, my goodness, people don't even see themselves doing it, And first of all, you have to, if you anyone want to develop those qualities, you have to develop those qualities first. If not, it's just like sometimes you try to convince people to be happy, then you look very miserable. It's not convincing, isn't it? I'm not going to listen to you. If I'm going to listen to you, I will look as miserable as you are, That's why sometimes it's always start from, from you first, Then you teach by example. Yeah. So is that answer your questions? Make sense here? Yeah. That's why sometimes people think that, I'm the head nun, I'm the boss, I can do what I like. Actually, the other way around. Because many pairs of eyes looking at me. They have to be more careful. It's true, they're all looking at me, they're not blind, you know. They're all observing me, so many pairs of eyes looking at me, what I'm doing, you know. Then I cannot tell them, you don't do this, you don't do that. I'm the one who did everything that I asked them not supposed to do, you know. Then actually you have to set it's the same thing with parents. They have to set the example, you know, that you have to do it first. So that is the only way, that this is how you inspire them. So any questions or comments? Okay.
Ajahn Hasapanna, you know the saying, money can't buy happiness. So, we need the material thing too, but not so much, you know. You know, it can't buy us all the happiness from inside, isn't it?
Yeah.
For to how to improve ourselves.
Huh? What is your question?
No. What I mean is, the question is the inside part is more important for our improvement ourselves.
Yeah, the inner qualities is priceless. The peace and calm is priceless. That is, even you have lots of money, you can't buy peace, you can't buy inner happiness. And that is come from, that's why it's important. That's why I used to tell parents, I said, you know, the best inheritance that you can leave behind for your children is not how much money you leave behind. It's the qualities. That's why you teach, by example, teach them to be a virtuous person, teach them to be a kind person. That qualities will stay with them. And that will carry with them to next life. That is the best inheritance you give to your children. It's not how much money you leave behind for them, it's the quality. That's why, then first of all, you want your children to develop those qualities, you have to do it first. Teaching by example. I remember this year, I think I went to this Buddhist summer school. So then we have a topic, this is a panel discussion about whether AI can replace to be a spiritual teacher. So then we are very funny, we go to this AI, you know, and then put the question, can AI becomes a spiritual teacher? And then this, and they come back, the answer is that, sorry, you know, I cannot be your spiritual teacher. You have to find your own spiritual teacher. I said, at least the AI also quite modest. Because some of the things that AI can't do, you know, you have to put into practice. It's just like, I remember many years ago when I was in Singapore, and this guy come up to me. He said, I want to tell you something, but I hope that you don't get offended. I said, okay, what you want to say? I just compare with different religion. I find that Buddhism is the most confusing religion. Then I said, you're right. I said, you're right. I said, you cannot understand Buddhism by reading books, you know, because you have to put into practice. Then I told this person, I said, Buddhism is a DIY religion. You have to do it yourself. No one can do it for you. You have to keep the precept. You have to do it. I said, you have to do it yourself. I said, then I give him give him the example. I said, you know, when you read books, you know, it's just like you never taste a mango, but then someone tried to explain to you how a mango tastes like. You can only imagine, isn't it? But only one day you taste a mango. This is how it tastes like. The same thing. The taste of freedom is only come from your practice. When you let go, things that you hold on, you have the taste of freedom. You're free. I'm free. Then you have to put into practice. No one can do it for you. Even the Buddha can't do it for you. I mean, the Buddha don't mind doing it for you if he can, but he can't. We all can't. We can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So then I said, that's why I told this person, I said, Buddhism is a DIY religion. You have to do it yourself. You can't just read books. If you can read books, you can get enlightened, then we don't have to practice, isn't it? Don't even need to keep precepts. Isn't it? If you can just by reading book. I said, of course you cannot understand by just reading book. That's why he said very confusing. Then I said, you're right. I said, it's confusing. So any more questions or comments?
There's no online questions.
Huh?
No online questions.
Okay. So we just Arahant. So no more questions, comments? Arahant Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantam Abhivadami Swakatum Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipannom Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangham Sangham Namo. So good night and Merry Christmas.